to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. If you jump on here live here on this Thursday evening, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. Tonight's one of those nights where I didn't write anything down because tonight's mainly going to be one of those topic discussion videos. So if nobody comes on here and comments, this video will be very short. If people come on here and comment about the topic and we stay on topic, this video could be kind of lengthy. Good evening, Keveron. Glad to have you here. As always, I'm doing this video for a couple different reasons. Hey there, Jacob. Glad to have you here. For one, earlier this week, the Braves released what they're calling the City Connect jerseys. And earlier today, the Falcons released a new jersey. And college football right now is trying to not necessarily stop, but slow down the transfer portal and make it make sense. I think it's going to fail miserably because every time the NCAA does something, some player or coach whines and complains and goes to court and gets their way. So the NCAA can't do anything, but I'm glad they are trying. And basically what they're trying to do is make it to where players have to actually enter the portal. And of course, all this is stemming from what happened between Ole Miss and Clemson. And Dabo came out and talked about Ole Miss being dirty, and everything Dabo said was 100% spot on, 100% accurate. But of course, nobody's going to say that because the media hates Dabo Swinney, but everything he said was spot on. But it stems from that because there's a player that, was originally going to go to Ole Miss. He decided to go to Clemson. He goes to Clemson, and up in the middle of the night, he leaves to go back to Ole Miss. But you see it all the time where, the transfer portal opens on a Monday, and the Wednesday before it even opens, a player puts his name in the hat to transfer. Well, then when Monday comes around, as soon as the portal opens, it's announced where this kid is, going to transfer to. Well, that's not really accurate. If you know before the portal opens where you're going, that's not really a transfer portal. So the NCAA is trying to make it to where you have to actually put your name in the hat to transfer instead of just saying, hey, coach, good riddance, I'm going here. There's a big difference in basically being a free agent and going somewhere and actually putting your name in the transfer portal and then deciding where you're going to go. But the main thing I brought this up for was earlier this week. Hey there, Riyadh. Glad to have you here. And Riyadh, I don't recognize your name. If you are new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by for whatever reason made you stop by tonight. I appreciate it. Earlier this week, maybe it was Tuesday, the NFL has announced a new flag football league. Now, they're doing it along with, somebody else working together, kind of a partnership to do this flag football league. But, Roger Goodell's pretty much came out and said that he thinks flag football is the football of the future. And, I've said it here on the channel many a times. He's right because, if football gets much more wussified, it's not going to be football anymore. Because now you see more effect in basketball than you do in football. And people want to hate the NFL, but college football is just as bad. Every time NFL makes some kind of rule change to benefit player safety, college football goes right behind them and does the same thing. So you can't really hate the NFL for doing it when college football is doing everything the NFL does. But, they're all about player safety, player safety, player safety. And Roger Goodell has said that flag football is the way of the future. When flag football actually starts and college football and the NFL become flag football, I, for one, will no longer watch. But they've pretty much said that anybody that wants to play in this can play. It's going to be around this time of the year, so it's not going to be during football season. So if one of your NFL team's quarterback or running back wants to play, he can. He's not going to miss any games, and people will be okay with that until their favorite team's quarterback plays flag football and breaks his leg. Then he's out for the year. Then all of a sudden, flag football is a bad idea. But I think it's a bad idea because if Roger Goodell is saying that flag football is the way of the future, and he's pretty much telling you that, and flag football was on TV a couple of weeks ago, ratings were terrible, awful, which tells you that nobody cares about flag football. But for the NFL to be driving this down your throat the way they are, pretty much telling you to watch it, pretty much getting all the coaches on board of supporting flag football, wanting the players to come on board and support it and play in it. If this goes over good and this is successful, within 4 to 5 years, the NFL will be flag football. And not only is that not football, but when that happens, you can pretty much kiss goodbye to any running backs. Because how are you going to be a running back in flag football? Because you get the ball behind the line of scrimmage and get up speed. All somebody's got to do is grab your flag. There is no break tackles. They just grab your flag. So when it starts, you can pretty much kiss goodbye to running backs. They're already almost a thing of the past. They will be a thing of the past when flag football starts. But the way the NFL is building this up and telling you to watch it, try to make you watch it, try to make the players play in it, trying to get the coaches to be involved and support it, that tells you they're trying to make something big out of this, and they're trying to slowly make this into the NFL. So is flag football a good idea? I think not, but for the betterment of long-term football, it better not be, because if this is successful and people watch it, then you're going to see this become regular football. But they say that football fans are hardcore, and that's why they had this football league that's on right now. I think it's called the USFL. It's been back now for 3 to 4 years, and their TV ratings are awful. And I know they did it trying not to compete with college football and the NFL, and I get that. And they thought, well, if we're in April and May, and if you're a hardcore football fan, you're going to watch just to have football to watch. But looking like it was a bad idea, because this thing's been off the ground now for a handful of years, and it's just not working. Nobody watches it. So I guess it just shows that to most people, the only actual football is college football and the NFL, which college football is no longer college football. College football is the NFL minor leagues, but I guess it shows that the only real football is the NFL or the NFL minor leagues, because arena football back when I was in high school was very popular, and I think it's still around, but it used to come on TV and now it don't. So now I guess unless you go to a game, you know nothing about it, but it's almost become a thing of the past. And this USFL has never really gotten popular, and the Canadian Football League's been around forever, and it's never been that popular. So I guess all the football purists actually only really like real football that's played in the fall and the winter. But to me, I say that flag football is a terrible idea, because if by some chance people watch it, you're going to see the NFL slowly morph into flag football. Of course, first it'll be the quarterbacks, where quarterbacks and quarterbacks only will wear a flag, and then over time it'll morph into every single person on a skill position on offense. Just like earlier in the week, the NFL came out and changed the kickoff rule again. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a football fan, and the NFL kickoff rule makes zero sense to me. It is so confusing, and they make it more convoluted and more confusing every year. This past year, they said that if you're going to declare for an onside kick, it has to be in the fourth quarter, and your team has to be trailing. Well, now they've come out and said that, you can do it at any time, but you still have to tell the other team you're going to do it. The whole point of an onside kick is to try one in the second quarter when the other team doesn't expect it. If you go out and tell them, hey, man, we're going to do an onside kick here, it's probably not going to work. Next thing you know, they're going to be making the offense tell the defense, hey, y'all, right here, we're going to throw the ball 10 yards downfield on the left hash mark. Y'all get ready. Hey, man, right here, we're going to run off right tackle. I mean, it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But the NFL can do that. Why? Because no matter what rules they change, no matter what they do, people still watch. And if people still watch, they can do whatever they want to. And it doesn't affect them. And so far, it doesn't affect them because year after year after year, their ratings on TV get better and better and better. So it looks like that the dumber they get, the more rules they change, the more people watch, because every year you think, man, their ratings can't get better than this. And the next year, they get better than that. But I say flag football needs to be a failure. Otherwise, we're going to be seeing college football and the NFL become flag football leagues. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. Can we all agree that Tiger Woods needs a new driver? And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them.